The day started with the smell of smoke. At first I thought it was a neighbor's barbecue, then I saw the black plume rising beyond the row of identical suburban rooftops. My stomach dropped. It wasn't just smoke, it was coming from my house. By the time I turned the corner, my home of 10 years was engulfed in flames. Orange fire curled out of shattered windows, roaring like a living beast. Thick smoke spiraled into the bright blue sky, and every second my memorious me son's drawings. My late wife's keepsakes turned to ash dot and standing there. Arms folded, lips curled into a smug grin, was Karen. Pastel pink cardigan, beige skirt, HOA badge pinned like a crown. She didn't look shocked, she looked satisfied. A stack of HOA violation papers rested in her hand, like some kind of sick trophy. You should have complied, she said almost sweetly as the fire trucks wailed in the distance. Rules are rules. My fists clenched. My jaw trembled. I wanted to scream, but instead I stared at her, memorizing that smug expression. She thought she'd broken me. She thought this was over. It wasn't. Because that's the thing about fire, it doesn't just destroy. Sometimes it forges something stronger, and right there, standing in the ashes of everything I loved, I made myself a promise. Karen was going to pay, and when I was done, she'd wish she had never even heard my name. Asterisk, you're probably wondering how an HOA Karen can destroy a home without even touching a lighter. Simple. Paperwork and power. It started 2 months ago. The HOA decided my my old wooden shed, was an eyesore. They slapped me with violation after violation. I argued, I showed photos, I begged for more time. Didn't matter. Karen, the self-appointed queen of the HOA, hated me. Why? Because I didn't bow. I didn't attend her stupid wine nights. I didn't kiss the HOA ring like the others. So, the fines piled up. $50 became $500, then $2,000. And then one morning, I woke up to a certified letter. Foreclosure proceedings initiated by the HOA. They took my home. On paper, I didn't even know they could do that. But in this community, the HOA is judge, jury, and executioner, and Karen. She strutted around like she'd won a war. She posted on Facebook about protecting property values and keeping the neighborhood beautiful. But the truth, she wanted control. She wanted me gone. And when I couldn't pay their extortion money, she auctioned my home to the HOA itself for pennies. They scheduled a demolition, claiming structural concerns. Just like that, the place I built with my wife was marked for death. So when I saw those flames, it wasn't an accident. It wasn't fate. It was Karen's signature all over it. But what she didn't know, what she couldn't know, is that while she was busy tearing my life apart, I was already working on something that would tear hers to shreds. I didn't yell. I didn't fight. I smiled, because anger makes people sloppy, and I couldn't afford sloppy, not when I was planning the perfect revenge. First, I stayed calm. I let them think I was broken. Karen bragged about teaching me a lesson while sipping Chardonnay on her porch. I even played along, telling her I understood the rules now. She ate it up. Meanwhile, I spent every sleepless night crafting a trap so airtight it could crush the entire HOA. Asterisk, and Karen? She was going to be the face of it. Karen loved control, but she loved money more. So when I whispered about selling my leftover lot to a developer friend, her eyes lit up. Asterisk, she thought she'd scored another win. We arranged a meeting, her and a developer. What she didn't know is that developer was actually an investigator working with my attorney. And the offer, it was baitless with a promise of under-the-table cash if she could speed up the permits for a luxury build. Karen didn't hesitate. She laughed, sipped her wine, and said the magic words on camera. Don't worry, I run this neighborhood. It's for the right price. Anything's possible. That one sentence, worth more than gold? It was fraud, bribery, abuse of power, a career-ending cocktail. But I didn't stop there. I had every HOA board meeting recorded, every shady fine, every illegal foreclosure all documented. By the time I was done, I had a case so strong the state attorney nearly hugged me. Asterisk the day Karen walked into my trap was the sweetest day of my life. It happened at an HOA meeting, same place she humiliated me months ago. She sat at the head of the table, wearing that smug pink cardigan-like armor. Then the doors opened, and in walked two investigators and a sheriff. Karen, the sheriff, said calmly, "We need to talk." The look on her face? Priceless. Like someone had pulled the ground out from under her. She stammered, "There must be a mistake." No mistake. Not when they laid the evidence in front of her: recordings, signed statements, financial records, fraud, bribery, illegal foreclosure practices. The HOA was dissolved on the spot. Karen was led out in handcuffs, her wine glass still trembling. In her hand, and me? I didn't just get justice, I got my land back, plus a fat settlement that set me up for life. As I stood there, watching her pink cardigan disappear through the doors, I thought about that day in the smoke and fire. She thought she'd burned me down, but all she did was light the match that burned her entire empire to the ground. Revenge isn't always loud. Sometimes it walks in wearing a badge and a smile.